welcome to this Manga reaction voiceover. I'll be voiceovering and reacting to the Boruto Chapter 72, Next Generations. Smaller and more useful is the name of the chapter. So on this front page we have Momoshiki just looking down like some kind of god. So we begin to the next page. You got Kawaki that says, "I told you, I don't know anything. Amato restored my karma without my permission." Shikamaru responds with, "So he said." But it seems he had some other motive, not just to help you. Does anything come to mind at all? Responds with, "I want to know that myself. I have absolutely no clue." Then we get more of a close-up of Kawaki that says, "In any case, now that Code's captured him, do Amato's motives really matter anymore, since he's likely a goner?" And then Naruto interjects, "Stop, Kawaki! You shouldn't say things like that." And then Kawaki replies blandly, "It's the truth. Why pretend otherwise?" Then we still have Kawaki, zoomed into his eyes. "Hey Shika, you're secretly glad, aren't you, to have not to deal with that shifty bastard?" Shikamaru reacts, "What, you brat?" Naruto interjects and says, "Stop!" Kawaki responds, "Worthless and upset. What a great combo." And then we got a shinobi that interrupts with the meeting here. Naruto says, "What?" Then we got Naruto that says, "Kawaki, that's enough." Then the shinobi interrupts and says, "Apologies, but there's an urgent phone call for you, Master Shikamaru, from Mr. Amato." "Nani?" Shikamaru he literally does say just what, but it's funnier to say "Nani?" Anyway, we get some snowy background of mountains and hills. And then here is Amato that says, Shikamaru, so good to hear your voice." "Yeah, everything hurts, but I'm alive. Unfortunately, haha." Shikamaru responds with, "I can't believe it. What the heck happened? Where are you?" Amato says, "A train station on the outskirts of the Land of Snow. It'll take 3 to 4 days to return to Konoha." Then Shikamaru says, "What about Code? Neither he nor his claw mucks better be nearby." Amato says, "No worries, I've already checked. I won't fall for the same trick as you. But speaking of Code, I've got some good news, Shikamaru. Ida, I still don't know how to pronounce her name, but Ida's cut ties with Code. She won't be aiding him anymore. He's losing his greatest ally." Shikamaru says, "What? If that's really true, that's amazing news, but what the heck did you do?" Then Amato said, "I simply talked, I can convince Ada to side with Konoha. She's accepted your proposition." And then Shikamaru just has this stunned face that Ada accepted my proposition? Nani? "That's right. You better prepare real nice room for her." Shikamaru interjects and says, "Hold on! Code has at least one other strong partner who isn't Ida. What about him?" "Oh, you knew already about Damon?" Shikamaru responds with, "Damon? Who and what is he? Are you supposed to take him in too?" Amato responds with, "Damon is Ida's little brother. I'll explain more when I get there, but you can't just invite her and expect her to leave him behind." Shikamaru responds with, "Her little brother? Wait a second, Amato. You had no authority to make deals like that on your own." And then Amato responds with, "Back at you, Shikamaru. You don't have authority either. It's all up to Ida. Once she's made up her mind, we no longer have any alternative but to comply. Right? Remember, you started this. What's definite is that you don't want these siblings as your enemies. Trust me on that. One more thing. This is somewhat bad news, but I rescinded Code's limiters." Shikamaru said, "What?" Amato replies with, "I had no choice. It was that or die." Be forward thinking, Shikamaru. But he's no longer has Ada. that actually is a mortal blow to his battle strength. Code is stronger now for sure. With Ida and Damon added to Konoha's arsenal, Code should be insignificant. You're good with game pieces, right? Well, the rest is in your hands. Shikamaru replies with, "Damn it! Fine, just get back here, stat! I have tons of questions for you." Mata replies, "Yeah, I know, later." And then Ida says, "Who are you calling game pieces?" Mata replies with, "It's a figure of speech that's effective with Shikamaru." Ida replies with, "Whatever, you better help play matchmaker with Kawaki, using that clever tongue of yours. You hear? If things don't go well between me and Kawaki, I'll kill you out of spite." Damn, what a bitch. And then we have Amato. "What? Nani?" Ida says, "Why do you look shocked? It should be obvious. I'm almost irritated enough to kill you right now. For giving me this ability to enchant the entire human race. Though I'll be the one to actually do the killing, said Damon. Mato's just speechless and just smoking a cigarette. And Ida replies, "So you better do your best, for your own sake." Once again, what a bitch. And then Amato's just puffing on his cigarette and just sighs. He probably just wants to say it exactly like, "This fucking bitchy ass lady and fucking little shit." And we got Shikamaru back at headquarters, just leaning on the table or the desk and just pondering and wandering and blah. He clicks a button on the phone. Bleep. There's a response, "Yes." Put out a call. Summon Naruto to the Okage office. Team 7 as well. All of them including Kawaki. And then we got the house of Naruto and Boruto here. Puts on his headband, Sasuke's headband. He's getting ready, he's getting prepped, possibly pumped up, and he notices a karma mark right near his chest. He walks downstairs, he announces, "I'm heading out." "Boruto!" "Hinata, I heard you have a mission. Is it true?" "Yeah. A direct summons from Uncle Shikamaru, no less. Team 7's been on total hiatus because of my karma, so Sarda and Mitsuki are chapping at bits." "I see. That's great." Boruto responds with, "Mom?" "Oh no, I'm so sorry. I didn't intend to be a mess. I mean, I know I need to see you off with a smile. It's just that..." She almost wants to just burst out and cry. Boruto gets to see this. And then now we see Himawari that just witnessed Mama have tears. And then Hinata responds with, "Whenever you head out somewhere, I just can't stop thinking that this time you're not going to come back home." Boruto does sit in place here and says, I'm sorry to keep making you worry. "I don't know this mission's details yet, but it seems to be something only my team can carry out. So, don't really have a choice, do I?" Hinata wipes her tears. Then Boruto does grin a bit and says, "It'll be alright. I mean, I even died that once, but I came back totally fine." Himawari is looking and witnessing all of this dialogue, not smiling, but not even frowning, just observant. And then Boruto responds with, "I'll come home, no matter what." Kind of reminds me of the Naruto of the old, always keeping a positive face and a positive projection. Really takes after his father. And then Boruto exits with, "I promise." Hinata is still without words. Very great physical expression there, just her left hand towards her chest, near the heart, with great worry there. And she responds with, "Be careful, okay?" Boruto looks back, and then he exits. With Boruto outside, here comes Momoshiki, just manifesting in his vision in present time. But there's like little fog clouds that are kind of in between them and around them. And Momoshiki just looks at him. Boruto responds with, "Momoshiki!" And Momoshiki, he responds with, "You promised to come home? How irresponsible." Boruto replies with, "Hey, freeloader, you can't resurrect anymore, right? Why are you still sticking around?" Momoshiki just glares at him. And then he says, "Let me ask you, boy, why do you still cling to your meaningless existence when you know your future holds nothing but despair?" Boruto replies with, "What? I told you that you were going to lose everything, and that moment is rapidly approaching. Boruto seems angry and disgusted by his response. He just glares at him. And then Momoshiki replies again, "You shall despair, lose your will to live, enough to want to escape this world. And when that day comes, I shall take over and live Uzumaki Boruto's life for you." And Boruto says, "What?" Momoshiki gives a sense of reassurance. "Don't worry, all you'll need to do is just cower quietly in the corner of your psyche for eternity. I do not care about resurrecting anymore, since possessing your body shall yield the same results. It'll happen soon enough. No matter what form it takes, you were always meant to be my vessel." Boruto responds, "You bastard! I let you run your mouth, but I am not in agreement with this. I'd rather die than to hand myself over to you." Momoshiki replies with, "I won't let you die ever again. You are my precious vessel, my life. No one can have you." Boruto replies with, "That's my line, you freeloader! You've outlived your time. Get lost! You're gonna shove my consciousness into a corner? Fine. If that's even possible, I'll make sure you can never emerge again. You'll be the one to despair in the future." Momoshiki has his own closing argument with, "Sputter all you want. Your fate is already decided. I look forward to it. Uzumaki Boruto." Boruto replies with, "Hey, hold up, you bastard!" Boruto. He just sees the sky, the whole area just disappeared. No more Momoshiki. He's just standing there just wondering, "Hey, where the hell are you?" He doesn't actually say that. It's just his facial expression. And then we have, looks like Mitsuki and Sarada says, "Boruto!" Mitsuki replies with, "Oh, look, you look like you're prepared already." And then Sarada says, "Wow, that's pretty quick for you. Are you all pumped because of the mission?" Boruto just doesn't really have a reply. He just kind of just ponders there in place, and then Sarada has to say, "Boruto?" And Boruto just cries out. He probably doesn't even notice that they're even there. He says, "You gotta be kidding me! Give me a break! I'll decide my own fate, thank you very much." Then all of a sudden we have Sarada just reacting, "Huh? What is up with you? This is beyond pumped. You're being weird." And then looks like just Boruto just takes off and says, "Oh yeah!" Sarada replies, "Hey, that's my line. What the?" Mitsuki says, "Even if he dies and comes back or becomes a Satsuki, Boruto will likely always be Boruto." Then we have Hinata just stare at the door. Himawari approaches Mom and just asks, "Mom? I was thinking that if I became a ninja, maybe I could help Boruto out a little, or would you worry even more?" Hinata says, "Himawari?" Then Boruto in motion here. I guess he's took his leap. He's looking at his karma on his hand. He says, "I won't let you do as you please, Momoshiki. Do you hear?" Then Sarada and Mitsuki have to just catch up with them. Probably still wondering, what the hell is up with him? And by the way, at this point, we're at page 26. So here we go. We have Code. He emerges out of his claw mark. And he looks like he actually brought Bug here. Splat! Ow! Ah, damn it! Could have just been a bit more gentle, says Bug. And then looks like Code and Bug are back into that little dimension where the Ten Tails is being housed in its little miniature zoo. And Bug says, "What? Is this place?" Code replies with, "Somewhere where you normally can only get to using space-time ninjutsu. I am an exception. I come and go by the claw marks, placed when Jigen brought me. We'd be in trouble if they disappeared." And the Bug says, "Hey, I better be able to get out of here." Code just stares at the Ten Tails. You can see the Ten Tails just has this weird, creepy grin, and the eye halfway shut, halfway open. And then Code keeps staring at the Ten Tails. It looks like the Ten Tails is starting to stare back. Code replies with, Now, have you been good?" Bug looks down and realizes, oh, is this the fabled Ten Tails to whom you're feeding the Hokage's son? Code replies with, Pesky Uchiha Sasuke can't come here anymore, but Boruto and Kawaki are full with Itsuki now. They might master time-space ninjutsu before long, then this place will no longer be secure. Bug says, not my problem, but what's your plan now that you're on your own? Just as you got your strength back, you get totally pummeled by Damon, then cut out of your legions like being kicked when you're already down already. And then Code says, honestly, Damon's strength was unexpected, truly on another level. I was outclassed. Bug says, that's why I tried to stop you from waking him. I really wish you'd listen. Code replies, well, no use obsessing over the past. You know, I'm pretty messed up over my broken heart. Could have just tried being a bit sympathetic. Throw me a bone or two. It reminds me of Dr. Evil. Throw me a bone. Throw me a freaking bone here. I'm the boss. Need the info. Okay, here's my second plan. Austin Power reference, I know. And then we have Bug that just replies with, I just don't get you. How can you be so nonchalant under these circumstances? Coach just glares back at him and says, isn't it obvious? Because things are actually okay. Bug just looks at him, I have no idea where this is going, but we'll see, I guess. And then Code says, anyway, and there's a sound effect, shrink. Looks like he is going to do something here, so he replies with, first, let's adjust Ten Tails into a more manageable size. Bug replies with, adjust? And then we look back to the Ten Tails. Looks like there's a growling grrr sound from the Ten Tails, and then Code says shh. And then we have Code just has like this stance like he's gonna summon something or be like some kind of warlock. Like, you know how warlocks are trying to summon something with like their arms wide open or something? Yeah, that's what, you know, we get from this bottom panel. And then all of a sudden, the belt claw marks are all over the Ten Tails, mainly on the eyes. Like there's a perfect X. There's like 3 across the right and 3 across the left, like a perfect X that intersect. And then there's like a shriek sound. We have like a zoomed panel of the Ten Tails eye and those belt marks. And then all of a sudden the belt marks expand and they expand and looks like it's just wrapping up the Ten Tails. And Bug is watching all of this like, what is going on? What in the... And then all of a sudden Bug has to reply, whoa! My reaction myself, yeah, whoa, that's a lot of belt marks. Like, what is he going to do? Then Code explains that the claw marks are made by mixing just a little iron from my blood with physically embodied chakra. They're half material, half chakra. My hidden weapon. There used to be a limit to how many I could put out in one time, but the restored me can create enough to completely enwrap this behemoth. A previously impossible feat. Alrighty, so we continue on the panel. We're at page 36. You've buried it in claw marks? What for? Code replies, I told you. I'm gonna adjust it. Smaller and more useful. And so we see the Ten Tails just wrapped around with those belt marks. And I do see that it's shrinking. It's shrinking in size. And all of a sudden there's like these spikes that come out of the belt marks. And Bug is just has that same facial expression like the other panels. Like, ooh, what in the world? I don't know what's even happening here. And then we flip to page 37. And actually this Ten Tails is looking more like some kind of octopus now with spikes. And then Bug is just observing all of this and says, is its body shrinking? As those horn-like things keep growing. And so Code says, a biju is by nature a giant lump of chakra. So I'm simply splitting it up like pinching pieces off of molding clay. And we see more of the 10 tails just shrinking down, shrinking down. Actually, this is very clever. This is very clever. I'm actually quite impressed by this. Then we flip to page 38. We see more and more progression of the 10 tails just shrinking down, shrinking down. It's almost like these little spikes that are on the belts. They almost look like larvae because they snap off of the belts. Okay, this is actually making a lot more sense for me because, as he said, he's basically just taking like a lump of clay and just tearing pieces off or cutting pieces off. So this is a brilliant plan. Oh my freaking lord. Okay, so the dialogue in this page 38, we have Code and Bug that says, Bug says, what's gonna happen now? And then we see these little lumps of the 10 tails, almost like they're little putty Play-Doh pieces, just like laying there. And then all of a sudden, those lumped larvae-looking pieces just emerge physical bodies that stand upright. And Bug is just in shock and awe. His facial expression is like in shock and awe. And then now you have like this army of 10 tails humanoids that are just in this little zoo pit. And then we get to page 40. Bug replies with, what totally creepy. And then looks like one of the 10 tail humanoids, they go through one of the claw marks right behind literally right behind Code and Bug, just where they actually came out of to enter in this dimension. And Bug is saying, they, and then all of a sudden, on page 41, we have, they can travel by the claw marks. Code replies with, well, Bug, they're much smaller and more useful now. Oh, okay, so on this page 41 panel, each of the little 10 tails, they only have one eye on their left side of their face, with the belt mark that shades out their part of their body. So it's almost like he can have the same exact sight interconnected with these 10-tail humanoids. This is a brilliant move, and of course this is to be continued. And wow, I'm really impressed by this. I mean, I've been wanting some more progression of Code to really validate himself as a villain, and we're finally getting it. Okay, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this progression of seeing Code have to change his battle plan. Is very objective on what he wants to accomplish. So I'm liking this from Code. I hope there's more progression from him. Well, if you enjoyed this voiceover, as usual, make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring the bell. And until next time, this was your handsome King Nerdy Bear doing a voiceover reaction of Boruto Chapter 72. Goodbye.